Oh, I'm early. Don't worry, I'm early. I'm just going to check that everything's working. And it is! Hurrah! So I am terribly early. So I'd rather be early than late. Oh, let's put some extra lights on for when we go live on the craft table. So I'm going to just have a quick drink, see what happens. Turn the light so I don't get blinded by it. But yes, I am incredibly early. I think I'm a good 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes early, so I shall be doing some editing on this video. Take off some of the beginning. Oh, just a bit of water. It's not vodka, honestly, it's not. Oh, I've just had a thought. I have. Probably going to end up with everything falling on the floor, but have a thought. That'll do for the moment. Good. Oh, someone's here. Who's here? Let me know if you're here. I'm going to have to quickly blow my nose, so I'm going to go off camera for that. Oh, that's better. So yes, let me know who it is who's joined. It's always nice to know who I'm talking to. Jackie is here. Marvellous. Hope you're having it's evening. Yes, I'm thinking it's evening. Who else is here? Gosh, we're getting a few more people joining. Catherine Meller, good morning. So, just some general chat while we're waiting for everyone to join. So last week we had a bit of a heat wave, which was lovely. It was really quite warm, so I got quite a lot of, hi Maureen, I got quite a lot of gardening done. Nearly 8 p.m. Yes, I thought it was quite late for you, or getting to that point. So yes, managed to get lots of gardening done. Morning, Jan. Except I've now got very, very definite strap marks. I was hoping I wasn't going to get strap marks. I was hoping by changing my top every now and again, I would not get strap marks, but no, I have got strap marks, but I can't complain because it was lovely weather. And then yesterday happened. So yesterday, so let's see, Saturday was about 24 degrees, which was for the UK in early May is amazing. It was just unbelievable. So we tried to have a barbecue, my husband and I. We found in the garage, and heaven only knows how long it's been there, and that might be the problem. We found one of those instant barbecues that you can get at the supermarket. So we thought, that's good, we'll have a barbecue. We'll have our first barbecue of the year. We duly lit the barbecue and the bag that it comes in. So the idea is that the bag acts as firelighter. So the bag burnt beautifully, and that was that. It didn't like the coals, so we ended up having a grill instead of a barbecue, but it was nice. It was very nice. So then Sunday was... Ooh, Sunday was a great day. So some of you may have seen that I made some cards for a village initiative. There were about 150 cards I made. The plan had been that we would be putting together care packages for some of our local health workers. We have, just a few miles from us, is the largest ambulance and paramedic centre. Morning, Lexi. And some of our villagers have had, unfortunately, to use their services So we thought it would be nice to let them know that we're thinking of them and put these care packages together. And we did it all as part of, the social distancing and all that good stuff. And one of the guys who lives in the village works for a company who make boxes and cardboard stuff. So they'd sorted out some social distancing signage for us, and they were providing us with the boxes. So that was fine, and everyone started dropping things off. As I say, I did about 150 cards, and the plan had been to make about 200 boxes, put together 200 care, some larger sort of tray bakes and things just to drop off at the centre, so that they had something nice and homemade to eat while they were looking after us all. So I dropped off my cards, and hi Renee, and they said, probably got too many cards as well. But if we have, we'll let back. So that was fine. Back end of Saturday evening, I get an email from, hi Nora, I get an email from the lady who, bless her, has been organising it, to say that they have not only hit their target of 200, but had enough stuff to put 335, hi Mary, 335 packs together. Hi Jan. So yes, 335 packs, plus there's some extras that we're going to be given to our local postman, because we have 2 postmen who service the village. We've got a milkman. We actually have a milkman, so he's going to get one, and our refuse collectors are going to get packages as well. So it's great. It's amazing. And yes, I had to make more cards. I posted the extra cards that I made on my website yesterday evening. I made them and then used those as part of the blog hop that I was doing with Kylie Bertucci. I know, Jackie, it's just phenomenal. 335 packages plus things for the centre. So I'm in awe of the ladies that organised this. It was one person in particular who sort of did it. You're having trouble hearing me. Okay, is anyone else having troubles hearing me? I need to find out whether it's my end or not. There's much I can do about it, or Mary's end. Let me see what the Wi-Fi is looking like. Wi-Fi is a little. There's not much I can do about it, I'm afraid. Hopefully it will get better. I'll just go and check what are like on my my laptop. Hopefully it will get better. I'll just go and check. Yeah, no, it seems to be yes, you're having trouble, or no, you're not having trouble. I'm confused. Anyway, over on my laptop, it seems okay, and that is going through the Wi-Fi. Anyway, well, have to keep going. If it's not great, then it's not great. Not much like it's had a couple of glitches. Yeah, it's the Wi-Fi, I'm afraid. I am quite a long way from Raphael. Woo! Haven't seen him for ages. The Wi-Fi is what the Wi-Fi is. Sorry. Not a lot I can do, short of moving my craft room nearer the house. Thank you, Jan. Anyway, so yes, so that was what happened at the weekend. Fortunately, the weather kept reasonably fine. It was a bit chillier on Sunday than it was on Saturday. Yesterday, temperature just plummeted, and there was a ridiculous wind. It was really strong. So when I was dropping the extra cards off at this lady's house, which is the other end of the village, I got onto my bicycle, and cycling there took quite a long time because I was going straight into the wind. Getting home, really quick, no problem at all. But yeah, bitterly cold, but still chilly, but it's really nice. And apparently it's supposed to get better as the week goes on. So that's always fun. Right, okay, so I think enough chit-chat. It is now just gone 11. So we will start with a bit of housekeeping. Now, I had a comment on my YouTube channel last week after the repost of this from a lady who was a little concerned that there was 16 minutes of chat before we got to any card making. I did reply to her and say, well, that's because it's a replay. And sorry, I'm getting notifications of things. Whoops, let's not shake the phone. So there's chat at the beginning because it's Facebook Live. You had a tailwind. I did have a tailwind coming home. Not going, headwind going. Oh, and our local garden centre's going to be open tomorrow. Woo! I don't know why that suddenly came into my brain, but yes, we can get compost, and I need some straw to put under the strawberries. So yes, hurrah! Things are beginning to lighten up a little bit, but only a little bit. So yes. Anyway, so yes, housekeeping. Do remember that there will be a draw for sharing. So if you share this video, either the live version on Facebook, the recorded version on Facebook, or the reposted version on YouTube, then you will be entered to draw a stamp, to win a stamp set. And this week, so this will be drawn into Bug, which, if you remember, was the Celebration host set. So it's quite limited stocks. So that's going to be that will be drawn in 2 weeks. You've got 2 weeks to share the video either here from Facebook or on YouTube. If you share it on both, I'll put your name into twice. I'll be doing the draw for 2 weeks ago at the end of today. Remember that this will be saved in my business page, on my business page. So it will be there forever, and it will also be posted on YouTube. Hi, Sue. If you leave a comment and you're expecting a reply, if there is no live red box up there, that's because it's a recording. So if you're watching on Facebook and live doesn't appear in the top left-hand corner, then it is the recorded version. If you're watching on YouTube, it is the recorded version. It's not a live on YouTube. I keep planning on doing lives on YouTube and I haven't quite got around to it yet. Hopefully soon. I need to sort out some other software. So yes. So that is that. Remember, okay, bye Mary. Hopefully it'll be clearer. I don't know that it will, but hopefully it will. Remember that if you are shopping with me and you spend at least £45, you will get the month. So you'll get the monthly tutorial bundle sent out the following. You order in May. At the end of May, I'll send those tutorial bundles out. So if you order over £45, you get the Glam Squad tutorial, which is, oh, I can't remember what the tutorial, oh, Shake Things Up. Don't know what that's going to have, but the theme is Shake Things Up. And there's 2 projects from each of the design team. And if you spend at least £60, then you get the mega bundle, which is for the Ornate Garden Suite. Hi, Valerie. So yes, there's 90 projects in the Ornate Garden mega bundle. Obviously you only get that once, because once you've got it, you've got it. Comes in 4 parts. It's that big. They are filed alphabetically, so mine is the very last one on the 4th link. So that's that. That's it. Okay, so let me flip the camera, which always takes a little bit of a interesting time. Bear with me. Sorry. I'll try to do this as smoothly as possible. Flip the camera around. Wow. Ha! That almost worked seamlessly. Let's see if I can get you slightly further up. Good grief. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Okay, so I've got my copy. I should have my catalogues here maybe by the end of the week, otherwise it'll be next week. So if you have shopped with me in the last 12 months, you will be getting one of these through the post as quickly as I can turn them round. I'm going to make sure that by the time they arrive, I've got everything ready to go with them to send out. So I should be able to turn them around, hopefully, if I get myself ahead in a day, although I have got quite a lot to send out. But this is all I can show you at the moment. Sorry, but it's gorgeous. I think this year, quite often I look at the front cover and I go, wow, this is going to be an amazing catalogue. And I'm a little bit disappointed. This time I'm going, yeah, okay, it's all right. The contents is to die for. So yes, there is going to be a request. Have I already got the request up? If you want a copy of the catalogue, I was going to send them out free to people who aren't my customers or haven't bought from me in the last year, I should say. I'm having a rethink on that because I do tend to send out an awful lot free and then never get any orders back, and these do cost money, so it cost me something like £5 to get them out to you. So what I am thinking I'm going to do is charge you to send them out, but then give you that money back when you place your first order. So I will, when I see that you've placed your first order, I'll just send you a refund of the cost, but keep an eye on my website for that. It just then means that I can get these out. I bet your wish list is massive. My wish list was fairly long. I've tried to be quite good, which I know is unusual for me, but I have tried to be quite good, and my pre-order is not huge. When we get to the 3rd of June and it's open season on what we can order, because as demonstrators we can only order from a certain list, and although there are things on that list that I liked, I didn't necessarily buy them instantly because there were other things that weren't on the list that I want first, so I was quite restrained. For me, anyway. So I thought it would be fun. I don't know if you've been noticing that I have been taking part in a team event. This is an event run by my upline. Excuse me. And it's like a bingo. So it's a 4x4 bingo square, and you have to make things to go with it. And I thought it'd be fun to show you what I've made. So this, which is a fancy fold using the Tropical Oasis suite, was goes with my envelope. I should open that up. So this ticks the boxes for your favourite colour, which I don't actually have a favourite colour. I do as well, Jackie. I don't have a favourite colour, but I think I probably use soft suede most. So it's my go-to colour. So it takes my favourite colour box and my decorated envelope box, and this does my fancy fold and my multicolour stamping, because I've actually got soft suede here, old olive, and I think it was mossy meadow here. So yes. Little diorama card, and obviously that would go in that envelope. Then I had to do single layer, which I use the Forever Lovely stamp set for, which is going. I hadn't spotted that it was going, and it is. So I was very upset. But yes, so this is the Forever Lovely stamp set, and it's my single layer card. And it's a stamped background. So single layer stamped background is what that ticked. And then I did, this isn't everything, I should hasten to add, I did Retiring Product and Flora and Fauna, which was this one. This would also have done for no stamping, but I used one of the things from the COVID-19 give back for that, because that was obviously not stamped. So yes, but it's been fun doing it. I'm going to have to think about doing that as part of my catalogue launch party, I think. Anyway, right, okay. Let's get making cards. I have got things planned. I haven't made them, which is always a little scary. But I thought I've been through the inventory status report this morning just to check what is and is not still available. Some of what I'm going to be using is carrying over and some of it isn't. What isn't is the Tropical Oasis Memories and More card pack. I'm going to be using this for my, or for part of my summer scrapbook, because although we won't be going away, obviously, there are some amazingly good cards in here for that. So I think things like A Tropical State of Mind, if we get some really nice weather, it doesn't matter that we're not away. Love Your Smile is always a nice one to have. And then there are all these lovely prompts for journaling. So every summer has a story. Oh boy, won't this one have a story. So this is still available. It comes with, where's the pack? So I store mine in a stamp case. Oh, it just says one kit, one set. That's helpful, isn't it? Okay, let's go to the catalogue and find out how many there are. This is very well thumbed. Sorry about that. Tropical Oasis, page 38 to 40. So there are 50 cards, 2 each of 25 designs. So they're 3x4 and 4x6, and 4 sticker sheets. So the sticker sheets are, again, really useful sticker sheets. I've got some of them out to use on the card, but is this both of them, or... Yes, so these are the 2 full sheets. So you've got some labels, you've got some little icons, you've got words. So for either card making or Memories and More or scrapbooking, really nice. So yeah, so that's the pack, and I have dug out a few to do our first card. That's just a scrap of paper that isn't there for any good reason. Good. Marvellous, because these are going to be no stamping cards, because sometimes we need just a quick card. So these are Memories and More note cards. So these are the 6x4. You get a mixed pack. So you get some large and some small. So these are some of the large ones, and they're pre-scored. So you just fold them in half and burnish them down. Oh, and I meant to say my pre-order, no, not my pre-order, my host code order is due to arrive tomorrow. So those of you who've been using the host code for last month, I know I did email you to apologise for the fact that everything was running late because of the fire at the warehouse. Everything's back on track, as in the warehouse is working flat out and overtime, which is interesting, bearing in mind that we're going through the COVID things, so they're having to do social distancing and everything. They're doing an amazing job, but my host code pack is due to be with me tomorrow, so I can actually get my thank you gift packs out. So thank you for bearing with me on that. Yeah. Hopefully I will get my pre-order maybe at the end of this week. They're shipping things that were ordered on the 4th of May. Obviously I ordered on the 5th, so it's fingers crossed some 5th of May things have gone. Right, okay, so quick card. So I've got one of the Memories and More cards here. It's got this pattern on the back, and then I've got this one which I'm going to put on top, and it's a little journaling area on the back. So I'm just going to whack this down with some adhesive. I do like my liquid adhesive. And there we go. Hi, Jane. So that's that. Dimensionals we are going to need. What I'm going to do is, I don't need that's for the next one. I'm going to take some of the Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon and zigzag it across because it does kind of match. One of the colours in the suite is Daffodil Delight. It's Daffodil Delight and So Saffron are the yellows. So I'm going to grab my snail, which has gone for a walk, and just add some snail on the front of my card, and then just do some zigzags across my card front. I am planning my next card kit in the mail, so hopefully I will have some information on that very soon. It will be in my VIP group, which is my customer group first. Then it will be on my newsletter. So if you don't sign up to my newsletter, please do if you want details. I'll only be able to ship to UK addresses as ever, because that's the agreement I have with Stampin' Up. Ooh, that needs to be a bit shorter, so I'm just cutting this at an angle. So yes, if you want to be one of the first to hear about that, please sign up to my newsletter. You can do that on my website. And there's a link to my website on my Facebook business page. So that should be easy. There will be a very limited number. There are once it's going to be a question of once they're gone, they're gone. I did manage to get some extras put together for the last one I did. I really was not quite going through the bin, but pretty close, to make some extras up. So just be aware that this one will be, there are a limited number, and once they're gone, they're gone. Because once they're gone, they're gone. I will not be able to get more of the products, apart from anything else, because some of it will be a retiring product. Okay, so just pop some dimensionals on the back, and then this will now cover up the sticky bits. So we can just pop that on the front. And I've got some of the Tropical Oasis trinkets left. Hi, Claire. And I've got some of the hibiscus and some of the, well, I've got some of each of them actually, because we've got the guitar, maybe it's the ukulele, the hibiscus and the pineapple. So I thought I would use the hibiscus because that seems to go more with this card pack, or this selection of cards. So I'm just going to take my sticky dots and I'm going to actually add two, because the trinket is dented, as in it's, you know, it's 3D on both sides. So to make sure that it actually adheres properly, I'm going to use two. I'm just going to pop it down there. And that basically is the card. What I might just do for a little bit of extra fun is, I do love my Wink of Stella. So particularly when it's actually screwed in properly, I might add some, just add some glitter to the paler. I think these are probably more jasmine than hibiscus. This is obviously a hibiscus, but I think this might be a jasmine. But I do like a bit of Wink of Stella. I also like, and I think people miss these in the catalogue, I also like the shimmer paint or shimmer ink. There are two. Ooh, I've missed one. There are two that are in the current catalogue and will be carrying over. And they are Frost White and Champagne Mist. They have glitter in them, and you can hear them when they shake up. You can use these either with an aqua painter, or you can put them into a spritzer with some either water or rubbing alcohol, if you can get rubbing alcohol at the moment. You can also put re-inker in with them, so you can get a coloured mist, but you get a really nice finish with just a little bit of glitter. And it's very similar in look to the Wink of Stella. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but anyway, so that's a little bit of Wink of Stella. Now, I have to say, I do have the full collection of ones that we've used, because I've got the Rose Gold, which was with the Everything's Rosy kit. the Vegas gold and the copper, the bright copper, which we've had in the past, because I just love them. I've ordered and have got my second bottles of these because I use them a lot. Just saying. So that's that one. So I hope you like that. If you did, if you like it, do give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. A little bit of reaction is nice. So that's that one. Oh, and I was going to add one of these stickers. I think I might still add one of these stickers. I might pop that there, couldn't I? So, let's see. Yes, I think I might need small dimensionals for that. There we are, some small ones. What I'm going to do is just stick it to my jumper and take some of the stick off so that it's not quite as sticky, and then just add, that goes there. I'm going to have one there and one there, and get rid of the bits and just pop that onto the corner there, just so that it's not quite so square. That was my plan anyway, so don't need those anymore. But yes, as I say, if you like it, do a bit of reaction is quite nice to see. I can still see your comments from where I am. Thank you. I got a heart. I can still just about see the comments on the camera. So if you've got any questions or comments as we go along. So this is the next card that I've picked up, and it does say the best is yet to come on the card. And the back is some of the palm trees, that's the word I'm looking for. The back of this is just tropical leaves, but I liked the rest and relaxation because I think that's kind of all we can do at the moment, is just take this as a bit of R&R. And again, I'm going to use some ribbon. I say ribbon, this is trim really rather than ribbon. This is the one that comes with the suite, and at the moment it is still available. Things are suddenly going to start selling out. We've already lost some of the in colour bits and pieces. So if you want in colours, retiring in colours, please, please, please do not hesitate to order them, because they are going. We are losing. We've lost all the Memories and More cards from the annual catalogue. So both the Magnolia Lane and the Come Sail Away have gone. So yes, things are beginning to go. I think you will find that this week is going to be the really busy week. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I just do get that feeling. So just pop some dimensionals on. I am going to stick the trim on, so I haven't forgotten that. Honest. And again, put 2 in the middle. So what I'm going to do with the trim is cut it in half and flare it a bit, as in fray the ends a bit. Now they do get a bit fluffy. Get the fluff off the card. So fray the ends out and grab my tear and tape. Tear and tape is really nice and strong. So this is carrying over. The liquid adhesive is carrying over. Snail isn't. So if you're an absolute snail fan, get it now. But we are getting 2 new tape runners. So one that is a replacement for snail that is less likely to react to humidity, which is snail's biggest issue, is that people don't like. Don't worry about being late. You're allowed to be late. So yes, humidity seems to be the problem that most people have with snail. Not a problem I have to say that I have. Where we live, it's not that humid, so it's not an issue. I mean, sometimes it can get a bit humid, but generally speaking, humidity is not a problem for us. We live in a bit of a bowl. It can be, love the colours in card 2. This, yes, It's lovely and green. What was I saying? Oh yes, we live in a bit of a bowl. So we live fairly near RAF Benson. RAF Benson is known in the UK to record the lowest temperatures. So if it's cold, it will be one of the coldest places in the country. And as I say, part of that is because we're in this bowl. So once cold gets in, there's nowhere for it to go. And if there's nowhere for it to go, it just seems to get colder and colder. The same is true in the summer. It's nice and warm. And let me just pop that. Oop. That looks about square. So yes, in the summer, it tends to get quite hot and can get quite humid. It's not too bad. Jan Jones, who's one of my team, she lives not that far from me, but out of the bowl. She's the other side of a hill. And I don't think they get quite the same humidity that we do, or quite the same heavy frosts that we do. But you can tell me, Jan, whether you do. Do you get these really heavy frosts that they get at RAF Benson? Now, I thought for rest and relaxation, a ukulele might be quite fun. I'm going to stick it on again on the flat of the card, because from a UK postage point of view, the one layer of dimensional will go through as standard letter. Anything over and above that, you're looking at large letter stamps, which are that bit more expensive. So I try, if I'm adding any form of embellishments to a card that's got dimensionals, I try to, actually I might pop it there, I try to keep the embellishment below the dimensionals rather than on top. Thank you, Marilyn, you're very good at sharing. You're in the draw for this week's stamp set, as in the one that I'm drawing this week. I know, because I wrote the names down this morning. So there we are, and I think Nora is as well. Yes. So there we go. Rest and relaxation and aloha. Really quick. I mean, a lot of waffle from me, but basically really quick cards. So I hope you liked that. If you did, obviously, I would love to see some hearts. But yes, don't think of your Memories and More cards as being for things other than, or for only Memories and More. It is for all sorts of things. So my next projects, and I'm doing two. I've got my little basket. Unfortunately, I had some bad news both yesterday. No, two lots of bad news yesterday, which is nothing to do with the dreaded virus, other than they're people that I possibly wouldn't normally hear from. Don't need those. Don't need those. I need that. That's what I need. So a friend of mine, her father has had a mild stroke. So yes, Jan, you're quite sheltered, aren't you? We're not. We're in the bowl because we've got the river going through the village, I think. So yes, friend of mine, her father had a mild stroke on, where are we, Sunday evening, and is in the local hospital. Whether he's still there, I don't know. Oh, I do need blends for that. Wouldn't it be a good idea if I got them out, really, wouldn't it? Only need 2 extra colours. So I thought I would send him a get well card, and another friend of mine who lives, very, very long-standing friend of mine, well, and my husband's, had a nasty fall. I think she fell down the stairs. She's in her mid-60s, I'll be generous. I know you do, Marilyn, you're very good at sharing. So that was Memento, sorry. Just give it a... but she fell down the stairs, and she's got... I love the way her husband described it on Facebook. A few broken ribs and some multiple fractures in her humerus above a previous break. So she is in a dreadful state, poor love. I'm going to punch this out before I colour it, just in case just in case it doesn't fit. But it does. It fits perfectly, particularly if I put it in the right way round. So a little bit doesn't fit, but the rest of it is fine. While I'm punching, I'm also going to grab some of the sparkle glimmer paper, which is going. Glimmer paper is going. Thank you, Jan. Oh, someone said morning, Liz, and I didn't see who it was. It was Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Hope you're keeping well. Wendy and I had a telephone catch-up last week, which was lovely. It's nice. We quite often get together at events, and it's quite nice to actually speak to someone. So yes, I thought that would go nicely on there and be a bit of a bling. So yes, I am going off with the fairies somewhere, aren't I? But yes, so I'm doing two get well cards is basically what I'm saying. So I thought we'd go Old Olive for the inside of our pattern. I do like using blends. Now, there are different schools of thoughts with blends. Do you put your light down first? Do you put your dark down first? Do you just do one area and then go over it quickly, or what? And I have to say, yes is the answer to that. I think you get a slightly different result depending on what you do. Because this is quite a cartoony stamp. Hi, Trisha. Because this is quite a cartoony stamp, I don't mind if the blend isn't brilliant. If it was more realistic, so if I was doing Wildly Happy, I would probably do light. I'd do one square light, blend it, add the dark, blend it, and then move on. But with a slightly cartoony character, I don't think it matters so much. In fact, I think it might enhance it if the blend is not quite so clean. If clean is the right word for a blend, I'll go in there as dark and there. So yeah, I just think it depends on the... Hi, Margaret. I think it depends on the stamp I'm using, to be honest. So if this doesn't blend beautifully, I actually don't mind. I mean, it's not doing a bad job. It is quite cool today, which helps. So alcohol evaporates faster in warm weather. And today's not warm. I had to put my heating back on in my craft room. It is that not warm. Soft suede, dark crumb cake, dark soft suede, dark light soft suede. So I'm just going to do my chappy, his sort of fleshy bits, if you like, in soft suede, and then I'll do crumb cake for the rest of his shell. And I thought this one I would send to the poor chap who's had the mild stroke. He's a really nice guy. Bless him. His family are in total lockdown to support him, because obviously if they go out, they could bring the virus back in with them. So they're getting other people to do their shopping and all that sort of stuff, because they are desperate, obviously, to keep him well, but the poor chap is currently in hospital, which is a shame. But apparently they caught it really quickly and he's doing a lot better, so that's good. We had quite a catch-up with my father over the weekend. You have to drink faster in the warm weather to prevent the alcohol. Yes, quite, Wendy. Oh, that's made me laugh. Oh, I love that. Yes, I'm going to give him dark soft suede toes as well. See, soft suede's always one of these colours that I just grab. It's such a useful colour. So not my, in inverted commas, favourite, but the one I reach for most often. Oh, that really has made me laugh. It's one of the joys of doing things like Facebook Lives, because you get this interaction. I love it. I just realised I didn't colour in there. Right, so I've done the dark soft suede, so let's go back in with some light soft suede and just blend that out a bit. And as I said before, if it doesn't blend perfectly, because this is a cartoon character, I really don't mind. It's all to do with, as I say, if you're doing something that is realistic, like Wildly Happy, which is also carrying over, as is Nature's Beauty, which was the give back stamp set from the autumn winter catalogue. That is carrying over. I never thought that would carry over, but it has. It's not carried over as a give back, but it is going to be available still. So that's good. Right, so that's that done. So I just need some crumb cake for the shell. And oh, I've got the dark. Never mind. I'll do the dark first. So I'm just going to put dark crumb cake where there's an obvious shadow. Oh, and on the ground. So there will be an obvious shadow. There'll be a shadow there, possibly there and there, and possibly there. So not much crumb cake. You probably wouldn't need it. You could use any other colour. And again, because they are cartoon characters in this set. Oh, and I haven't shown you the set, have I? Ah, back on your feet. This is the other one that I'll be using. Because they are cartoon characters, you can really... hi, Dot! You can really just let your imagination go. It's not vital. You know, you could have it blue with pink spots if you wanted. Be quite interesting to see a blue with pink spots tortoise, but yeah. Okay, so that's all that lot done. So all I need to do now is pop the card together. So I'm using paper from the Sia Silhouette suite. This I'll use the word was, it's still available. So my card is basically, I think, 3 1/4 by 5. Is it 3 1/4? 3 1/2 by 5. Because it's got the scalloped edge, and these come in a pack with 4 colours. Hi, Louise. Thank you, Marilyn. Because it's got a scalloped edge, I've cut my paper to 4 7/8 by 3, which will allow me to have a bit of a margin around the... Actually, I'll stick it on from this side. It'll allow me to have a bit of a margin round the edge of the card. Not perfectly straight, but it's not bad. And then I've got a scrap to go on the inside, and I've deliberately chosen a scrap that is very obviously not the same pattern. It's not even from the same sheet. And that I'm going to just stick on with some snail, so that... Now what I would probably actually been better doing is cutting this a little long, and then I could just trim it off at the ends. And then when we fold that, we've got this showing. And there it is, a bone folder. So that's that. Then we're going to have that and that. And then I've got lots of little scraps from cutting down my cardstock. And I thought I would grab Sigh and my baby block, and some memento. Gosh, I'm losing things on my desk already. So sigh. Oh, it's amazing, Nora. It's so useful. I'm glad you got it too. It's just so very useful. It's what I think of as I don't know what DSP I want, but I know I want DSP. And because it's very patterned on one side and just sort of inked on the other, it does for so many different sorts of project. Now, once upon a time, oh, I moved it. I moved my really, I think I am going to need to replace it, chamois. It's not dirty, it's stained, is all I can say. But I think it might have got to the point where I need to replace. They're not expensive, they're only £7 or something. And I think hope things get better soon is probably what I want for the inside. So I will grab my memento again and ink that up. And just stamp that down. Lovely. Good grief, it's 11:45 already. Good grief. Oh well. Oh well, it's fine. I've got nowhere to go. If you've got nowhere to go and I've got nowhere to go, that's fine, isn't it? Right, let's just give that a proper burnish again. So I've got this little sigh and my chappy. Now I always find, and this is why you don't want to do blends onto a note card, you want to do it onto a piece of paper, you stick to a note card. I always find that the best thing for sticking to shimmer paper, glimmer paper, not shimmer, it's the shimmery white, this is glimmer, are dimensionals. You can use liquid glue. If I was using liquid glue, I would glue it and then put a heavy block on it so that it can stick properly. I got extra before it goes. I used it to make the autumn wreath last year. I know. My name is Wendy and I hoard DSP. Yeah, I know the feeling. I don't use my DSP enough. Yeah, I think we'll pop it that side. So I'm going to cut this quite long and add some snail, and then I'm just going to pop it there. Straight is better. I have to say, this is one of the things I do like about snail, is that it's not permanently permanent. I mean, it is once you press it down really hard and you leave it for a while, but if you go slightly wrong, you can you can actually, I'll use glue for this, you can move it. I remember when we had fast fuse, and I think the one we're getting, one of the tape runners that we're getting, is going to be effectively fast fuse replacement. Trying to get fast fuse up when you put it down and it was in the wrong place. Yeah, that would be fun. And of course they come with nice scalloped envelopes as well. I'm going to have to cough. Oh, I swallowed my uvula, I think. Take a drink. But yeah, I think that looks cute. 6:45 in the morning. Where are you, Marilyn? I can't remember. You're in the US somewhere, I think, aren't you? But I can't remember. Anyway, so there we are. That's my first Back on Your Feet card. Obviously, I will write in it before it goes. So the second one uses our sleuth. Yes, it will fit. Just have to do a bit of changing of blocks. If you put boiling water in a bowl and the Stampin' the chamois and move it lots of colour. Yeah, I do quite often. It will be much. I do run it under a. I run it under a hot tap. So well, no, I don't. So I put it in the sink and I turn the tap on to the hot setting, and different colour comes out at different temperatures. But I will try putting it into a very hot bowl, or a bowl of very hot water, and see if that makes a difference. It's mostly the Memento, but I will try it. You're in the USA. I thought you were. How are things going over there at the moment? They're trying to ease things off a little bit in the UK, although it seems to be more in England than in the UK. The other nations are still very rigid. We're still rigid, but they're very rigid. So, yes. But I don't know what it's like over in the US of A at the moment, and it's such a large country. I'm assuming it's different in different places. I saw in Australia, I saw on the news that certainly in Sydney, they were allowed to go back to. You were allowed to go back to the shops, and the crowds were horrific. It terrified me. Nested label. One of the stitched nested labels, and our little sloth. I did test beforehand that he will fit. See you later then, Catherine. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. So there's our sleuthing. I'm just going to let him dry a wee bit while I put the rest of the card together. This is actually a case from the current annual catalogue. So page 83 is where this stamp set is, and a tick means it's carrying over. So I'm casing this one because I thought for this poor friend of mine who's broken her arm, it was quite an appropriate one. So I've used the same embossing folder, which is the layered leaves. They've used it that way up. Oh, actually, I was going to use it that way. That's actually quite nice. I might use it that way up. So yes, I'm just changing it a wee bit, but only a wee bit. So it's tone on tone because this is Old Olive. This is Old Olive. Don't you love that all the colours are the same? Do I like it that way or do I like it that way? I like it that way. It's my card. I'm doing it that way. You're easing up some depending on where you are. Yeah, I think, well, as I say, that's pretty much the same as with the UK. We've changed, so certainly for England, we've changed our motto from stay home, protect the NHS, save lives, or maybe in the other way round, to stay alert. Can't remember what it is. That's good, isn't it? It was only launched at the weekend, but I can't remember what it is. But the stay home bit has gone, and there is a little bit of concern that people are going to start doing silly things. Some industries are going back to work. I'm going to need those. There's no point in putting them away. So yeah. We'll see what the next couple of weeks brings. Let's just hope it isn't another spike. So I'm going to go ouch, because, you know, she's fallen badly, poor love. Actually, I might use a slightly wider piece of card. So yes, fingers crossed people will be sensible. Apparently they've done a survey of Victoria's starting to send kids back to school in 2 weeks. Okay. Hi, Bridge. So what was I saying? Isn't it sad? My brain has completely gone. That's not straight. Let's try that again. Let's try to do it straight this time. That's better. Oh yes, I know what I was saying. They've done a survey of particularly men, I think, between 13 and 30. I mean, not that I would call someone who's 13 a man, but you understand what I mean. and apparently the percentage who would flaunt the lockdown is horrific. So that's not straight. It's just, well, I only need a little bit really, isn't it? Okay, so let's colour. Again, using blends. I'm swapping out the olive green for Highland Heather. So this is my colour collection. The Highland Heather is going to be used on the bandage purely because I want to use the same ribbon that they used in the annual catalogue, and that is Gorgeous Grape. So this is the nearest I've got. So I'm going to start by colouring that. And again, cartoon character means you can be less concerned about being realistic. I mean, let's face it, you wouldn't put, probably, a bandage on a sloth. I don't think the sloth would let you, apart from anything else. Although, having said that, it was 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, that one of our cats decided that cutting the pad of her paw really badly. I mean, it was, I have a strong stomach. Horrible. It took weeks to get it right. We kept having to run backwards and forwards to the vet. And she had all sorts of patterns on her. Hi, Maxine. She had all sorts of patterns on her bandage. She had camouflage. She had purple. All sorts. It was ridiculous. Some of them even stayed on her leg for, minutes. There was one day we got back from the vets. They'd had to sedate her to put it on because, bless her, she's a tortoiseshell, and tortoiseshells are not known for being subdued. So this is soft suede, my go-to colour. Oh, I do need old olive, don't I? Let's do the leaves before I forget that there are leaves. But yes, we took her over to the vets. They bound her leg up, put this sticky plaster thing on that's supposed to stay on because it attaches to them really. It's really tough in that it takes their fur out when you pull it off. And we hadn't been home half an hour, and there she was sitting on the staircase with her leg, as in her bandage, beside her. So it was like she had 5 legs. It was the funniest thing, apart from the fact we had to go back to the vets immediately to get it put back on, or another one put on. Fortunately, she was still just about subdued enough that they could do it without another anaesthetic, but oh, it was an interesting few days. I know I've used the light for the little bit of branch, but I think that's probably the right thing to do. I might add a bit of light onto the main branch as well, because this will lift some of the colour off. You can normally see at the back where you've lifted colour off, because you don't actually lift it off, you push it back. You saw the post, yes. Nigel Oh no, I'm sorry, Wendy, that's sad. Oh, as in Monty Don. Oh no, that he's going to be completely shattered. That is not going to do him any good, because he has mental health problems, and I think his dog has been an absolute lifesaver for him. I mean, he's very open about the fact he has mental health problems, don't get me wrong. So I'm not telling tales out of school or anything, but so I'm still using the light soft suede just to add some areas of texture, and I'm just scribbling, it's just, this is where you just have to kind of go for it, and it'll be fine. And remember that it's not meant to be a work of art, it's just meant to be a card. It's only a piece of card with a fold in the middle. I think I might just add more texture with the dark crumb cake and then do all of it in light crumb cake. That's going to be darker, isn't it? And I might do dark soft suede on on his claws. Doesn't he look sad? It's the little eyebrows that I think are just so cute. So just blend all this out. Let me know if you've got any more questions. Actually, I might use the thick end for the main bit of its body because it's so much quicker. And do remember that you've got the marker, and this side you've got the marker and the insignia to show you which end is which. So who's got plans for the week? Our local garden centre, I did say, is open tomorrow. Maxine, just so you know, Not Cuts is going to be open tomorrow. Although you're a bit further away from us now, which is sad. We miss you. Not that we could see you at the moment, but we miss you. Although I do like your new garden. You're getting on with that really well. So yes, we need more compost, and I need straw to straw up the strawberries. Right, nearly there. Just need to pop this on for his claws. I don't know whether sloths have dark brown claws or toes or whatever they are. I don't really mind what they have. Right, so that's all our blend work done. Oh, he does still have the other one. Good. No, absolutely, yes. Marilyn, we're talking about a really nice guy who's on the television. So, yes. Right, so this is going to be slightly different from the original in the catalogue. That's why it's called casing. You don't have to do an exact copy. So I did look at that, and that's too wide. So I'm going this way. But to do that then means that the card won't stand up properly because it's short at the front. So I thought I could add a piece of glimmer paper behind. So I'm going to grab my sticky tape. Let me just make sure that that is actually going to work. Or whether I need a wider piece. No, that's going to be fine. So I'm going to take some Terran tape and pop that across the back of the front of the card. I've lost my scissors that I use for sticky stuff. I think I took them into the house when I was putting cards together for the care packages. And I can't find them anywhere. I'm going to have to tidy up my craft room again. That's obviously the thing. Right, so to get this right, I'm going to pop my piece of glimmer paper down so that it's lined up against the edge of the back of the card, and then press that onto it, and then open up and just run that properly across, and then I can just from the back, always easier to do it so that you've got this on top, so whichever way the thing you're cutting should be below what you're cutting from, if you see what I mean, because then you can see what you're doing and actually use the edge as a guide. So then we've got that nice piece of glitter there, and I thought I would then add a bit of it to the little build up that we have. So we've got this, we've got our ouch, which I'm going to cut down, and I'm probably going to terrify some of you because I'm going to cut it down even more. So it's a real little thing. So those are all my scrappy bits. Don't need those, need that, don't need those. And then just a small bit of this. So I'm going to pop him down there. Small bit of this here. Then my ouch and a bit of the gold as well. think I might put the gold behind there, actually. So I'm not going to pop up anything with dimensionals for this card. I know, me not use dimensionals. Scary stuff. This is coffee and card. You provide the coffee and I provide the card. It is where they do Mattox Roses, yes. So they've kept on the whole Mattox Roses thing. So yes, Barbara, I used to run, you know, in the olden days when we could actually go out and see people. I used to run a coffee and card face-to-face event in a coffee shop near me, and of course that's not happening because we're not allowed to. So this is instead. Right, glue dots. Where did I bury my glue dots? Here we go. So yes, we've been going about an hour, Barbara. So we've got this card and the draw and one very quick card to do. So we're getting there. Oops. Oh, come along. Thank you. Do I need a third one? No, I don't need a third one. Right, okay, so I'm going to pop this down. I might actually use tear and tape for this. No, I will use liquid adhesive. Used to be indecisive, now I'm not so sure. The reason I have gone for the liquid adhesive is because we're sticking to an embossed surface. I need to make sure that whatever I put down as adhesive is actually going to find something to stick to, and you can get a better covering. There used to be fields and fields of roses there. Yeah, not anymore. They do sell the roses, but there aren't fields and fields. So this then goes just there. And go on, straighten up. There we go. And this will pop just... Ooh, don't like that. Don't like that. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't fiddle, don't touch, leave it alone. There was me saying I wasn't going to use dimensionals. Yeah, because that's going to happen. A couple of mini dimensionals on the back. This is an ideal sort of piece to put offcuts from the edge. But after I've got my mini dimensionals, I'll use my mini dimensionals. And then pop that just there. And then on the inside, I hope you're back on your feet soon, is what I was thinking. Not that she's injured her legs, just pretty much everything else, poor love. So yes, those who've just joined, I've had bad news from two sources in the last 24 hours. The father of a very dear friend of mine has had a mild stroke and is in hospital, which is actually not a place you really want to be at the moment. I mean, you never want to be in hospital, but at the moment you really don't want to be in hospital. And another friend of mine, I think, fell down the stairs, but she's broken her arm in a number of places and a few ribs. So it's all a bit... so yes, I'm making get well cards. So that's that one. So that can go there to show you later when we do our little recap. And the last one, hopefully, will be quick. So it is using the lovely and retiring Abstract Impressions. I've got a scrap of paper called, talk about wildly happy. There's some foxes. 7 AM in the US. Yes, it's going to be both here. Hello, Catherine. It'll be here, Barbara, and also on my YouTube channel. So, all good. Right, so I thought I would go this way. I've got some of this is terracotta tile. I sort of apologise for my fingers or my nails this week. I hadn't realised this colour was going to be quite so neon. But hey, so this is terracotta tile. So my colour palette is Old Olive. That is actually Petal Pink, not that you can read it. Grapefruit Grove and terracotta tile. Grapefruit Grove, as we know, is going. So if you want it, you know what to do. So I'm going to start with the grass, as it were. And then we'll go on to the flowers. So that should fit on there, and it does. That should fit on there, and it does. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Doesn't often happen, but you know, sometimes it does. Right, so Old Olive stamped off and deliberately going off the edge. Comme ça. Comme ci, comme ça. Clean that, because I will need the block again. Get rid of that. This one I'm going to do full strength. And just kind of fill in some of the area. Oops. I quite like it when the card sticks to the stamp, because it means you've got enough ink on it. I'm just going to add a little bit at the bottom as well, because that looks a little bit bare, so we'll have some short grass there. And again, just quickly clean that off, because I will need the block again. So that's our grass. I love this stamp set too, Wendy. I didn't to begin with, but now I do, because that's just what happens. So now I need, you can see I've used it a lot with reds. So for those of you who are relatively new to this sort of thing, photopolymer stamps, they get stained by red inks. And when I say red, things like Melon Mambo are the worst. So yes, joy of joys. Right, okay, so I'm going to start with my light, which is Petal Pink. And I'm just going to add, and I don't mind that I'm going over the leaves, because the leaves are more prominent anyway. I'm not going to go the whole way across, because that's going to look far too mint for my brain. I like things to look as if they are going off the edge, because then it feels more, it flows a bit more. Oh, it just got better. My coffee beans from a well-known coffee shop. Ooh, well done. Huh. Yes, you and me, Wendy, we both run on coffee. It's almost like the first thing we need to know. Okay, that's the venue. Where's the best coffee? Is there good coffee? So this is Grapefruit Grove. Now, the joy of this stamp set is that there is a right way of stamping it, because there's a small piece there and a small piece there. So you'd kind of think that you just line them up. But you know, it doesn't matter if you don't. So I've deliberately turned it a bit. It really doesn't matter. It's brilliant like that. So that's Grapefruit Grove. And then for our smallest stamp, I'm going to use terracotta tile, because that will then, and by smallest I mean the one with the least surface, because this will help bring everything together with the card. That goes that way, I think. So those are our flowers. And then I just need a sentiment. And on the basis that I'm doing lots of thank you stuff at the moment, I think we may well just go. Oh, and I like that as well. So we'll do thank you on the outside, and kindness changes everything on the inside. Now, these do bundle with the, oh, I haven't labelled them, but they are a bundle if you want to get the dies that go with them. You can get them as a bundle. So thank you. And will that fit? Yes, it will. If it'll fit on the front, it'll fit on the inside. Oh. So, thank you, can probably fit on there, more or less. So we don't need that, let's not use that. I'm going to go terracotta tile, just so that everything ties in nicely. I was going to do up there, but actually there's quite a nice little gap just there. Just there, that fits. Don't need to clean that on camera because I don't. Let's just grab my sentiment for the inside and do that. Don't need those two anymore, so let's get rid of those. Then we can do the draw, then we can look at the cards, and then we can all get on with our days. Right. Okay, so this will just be kindness changes everything. If you're using these note cards, just be aware that whatever's here will show. So it's worth coming in a bit. It's also worth stamping straight, but you know, hey, whatever floats your boat. And apparently what floats my boat at the moment is stamping slightly not straight. Right, so I'm going to add my ribbon down here, and I'm going to stick that on with some tear and tape. So again, I'm going to stick the tear and tape to the card and use my non-sticky scissors. Tear and tape's easier to get off if you burnish it down properly first. And then this is the scalloped edged linen ribbon, and it comes in all of the in colours and is going to be available in the new catalogue. So this is carrying over, which is always nice to know when ribbon's carrying over. And again, just trim from the back or from where the card is, because then you've got this to push against. So that's that. Then we can fold that over and you just get that nice little bit of the ribbon showing on the front. And then I will use snail for this. Oops. Gone onto my scrap paper, but that's fine because it's scrap paper. And the right way up is always a good idea. And there we go. So there is our thank you card. So I hope you like that. I like the note cards. Yes, it's great that they're white on the inside. Basically, they're printed on the outside and white on the inside. So just as a reminder, this is the prize that I will draw in 2 weeks' time. So that's the little ladybug. The one I drew this last week for Karen Sutton. I haven't heard from Karen, so if I don't hear for another week, it will go back in as a prize, and it's actually the bundle with the stone 3D embossing folder, so it's quite a nice one to get. So that's going to be drawn in 2 weeks. This will go back in a week if it's not being claimed. This is the one that we're drawing for today, which is Well Dressed, and I've got all of the names in my magic mug all chopped up, so I'm going to give it a good old bounce. And you love this one. That's just as well, Nora, because you've won it. Nora gets the Well Dressed stamp set. So I know your address. We have corresponded very recently. So, and you've shared for this one. Great. So well done, Nora. So that's those bits. Let's just have a quick look at the cards that we have made. So we've got our 2 Get Well cards, our thank you card, and our Tropical Oasis cards. So we've got through a huge amount this week. Woohoo! So there we are. Those are all the cards we've made. So I'll get that off to you this week, Nora, to the usual address, as they say. So actually, that looks more symmetrical. Not that I have a thing about symmetry, but I do. So thank you very much for joining today. Do remember I'll be here again next week at 11, all things considered, or all things being equal. Do share here. If I'll be posting this onto my website probably on Thursday. That seems to be the way that it's happening. So then it will be on YouTube. So if you share from YouTube as well, you'll go into the draw twice. So do have a look for that as well. I hope you have enjoyed today. I am really enjoying these sessions. If you are enjoying it, thumbs up, loves are always welcome. Thank you. I will thank you, Wendy, you too. Hope the family are sorting themselves out, and I will love you all and leave you all. Thank you very, very much for being with me today and helping me make these cards. I really love these live sessions. I wasn't sure I was going to when I first started doing them. It was a bit of a leap of faith for me. I love doing videos, but live, because you get technical issues as well. But thank you very much for all of your support. I really do appreciate everything that you do. And you, Margaret, and you, Nora, and you, everyone. Thank you very much, and I will see you again hopefully next week. Bye!